Hello everybody, Marcos Villegas for FightHubTV.com here in Huntington Beach, California, being joined alongside Michael Bisping. Michael has announced that Mark Munoz is now out of his fight with Chael Sonnen. They gave you, the UFC, a shot at Sonnen and for the right to fight Anderson Silva. Given this matchup and you training for Demian Maia, do you see this as a better matchup for you going up against Sonnen coming up at the end of the month?
Well, it's a difficult matchup. There's no two ways about it. You know, Chael Sonnen is widely regarded as the #1 contender, and he's closing in on a matchup with Anderson Silva. I was training for Demian Maia, who himself is a very, very dangerous opponent. You know, actually holds a very, very good win over Chael Sonnen. Demian Maia submitted Chael Sonnen. So I've been training hard as humanly possible, to be honest, for my fight with Demian Maia. A fight with Chael Sonnen, there's a lot of people out there that they don't want to take that fight. I didn't think about it for a second. I jumped at the opportunity. You know, I'm a fighter. This is what I do, and I want to have the title. A lot of people have said, "Oh, you've only got a week to prepare." You know. I disagree. I've been preparing for this my whole life. You know, I mean, I've been training in martial arts since I was about 9 years old. I've been training hard for this fight. Doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, I don't care about the style or anything like that. We're going to get in there and we're going to fight, you know, and it's going to be who's the better fighter. You know, I believe I'm the better fighter, but we'll see what happens.
How do you plan on dealing with Chael's wrestling? Yeah,
Chael Sonnen is an outstanding wrestler. There's no two ways about it. I've fought a lot of good wrestlers in my UFC career, and you know, this fight will be just like all my others. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to look to keep it on the feet. I'm going to look to knock him out. You know, simple as that. You know, he's going to be a tough test. I'm under no false illusions about that. He's an amazing wrestler, but as I said, I think I'm the better fighter. I want it more. Nobody wants this as bad as me. I believe I can stop his takedowns. If he does take me down, I believe I can submit him on the ground. If I can't get the submission, I can get back to my feet. You know, nobody gets back to the feet as well as me in the UFC, and I'll show that next week. Listen, of course, you know, he's probably going to get takedowns. As I said, I'll get back up. For the most part, I'll shrug off most of his takedowns. He'll wear. I'll start landing punches, and soon he'll fall to the floor.
Do you feel that, with you saying that you're on the brink of a title shot, do you feel the pressure at all build in you, given, you know, it's a short notice fight and knowing what's at stake?
Yeah, there's always pressure, but you know that's. You know, that's why the UFC pay us so handsomely. You know, of course there's pressure. There's immense pressure, but we have to deal with it. If it was easy, everybody would do it.
Do you feel that if you do not get past Sonnen, that this fight here might be your last opportunity to have a right to fight for a world title?
No, absolutely not. You know, as I said, I'm planning on beating Sonnen and fighting for the title. If it doesn't go my way, you know, I ain't gonna stop. Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm only 32 years old, and you know, I'm still improving all the time. Fingers crossed, I'm gonna get the job done with a bit of good luck. You know, we always need a bit of good luck on our sides. I get the job done. If I don't, I'm not stopping. I'm not going to give up. And you know, that's not who I am. If that's who I was, I wouldn't be stood here today. You know, I've gone through a lot of trials and tribulations in my life, which is what's led me to this point. You know, I believe this is my destiny to be world champion, and Chael Sonnen's in my way. You know, I've got to go through him. There's a lot of people out there that wouldn't have taken this fight. You know, but that's precisely why I'm going to win, because I did take this fight because I've got the balls, you know, and I'm going to back it up.
Having spoken to a few fighters, they feel that Chael Sonnen shouldn't even be in the #1 contendership spot that he is right now, fighting for Anderson Silva, for the right to fight Anderson Silva. They feel that he lost his opportunity and he should make his way up. Do you feel that same way, or do you feel he should be in the spot that he is right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of did feel that way, but I think before his fight with Anderson Silva, he beat Yushin Okami, Nate Marquardt, Dan Miller, all consecutively. Then he fought Anderson Silva, gave him a great fight. Lost the fight, as we all know, and then after that, fought Brian Stan. Took Brian Stan out very quickly, submitted him, and then he was to fight Mark Munoz. And if he'd have beat Mark Munoz, he'd get the title. So, you know, the title shot. For me, that seems like a fair comeback. Obviously now it's not Mark Munoz, it's me. If he beats me, fair enough. But that remains to be seen.
Given Chael Sonnen and his ability to sell fights and just the way he is, and giving you and seeing you, you know, off camera as well, you know, do you feel that Chael might be the heel in this fight, or yourself? And how do you just view that whole situation?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. I mean, I only found out yesterday that I was fighting the guy, and ultimately that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I couldn't care less who's the heel, who's liked, who's the fan favourite. You know, there's a lot on the line in this fight. Yeah. You know, a world title shot is on the line. I couldn't give a shit who the fans are cheering for. All I care about is winning. Chael Sonnen's probably going to look to control me on the floor and ground and pound me, which he's very good at. You know, I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to work back to my feet. I'm going to turn the tables. I'm going to look for the knockout, of course.
And when you got that phone call that it was announced, you know, Dana called you and said, hey, you know, Munoz is out. We're going to give you the title shot. How was that day like? Who'd you talk to at first, and overall, how did that make you feel?
Well, I just finished a training session here at Ultimate Training Centre, Huntington Beach, and I was across the street at my usual spot having post-workout lunch, and the phone went. It was Dana White, and he obviously, you know, laid it on the line. I said, give me 5 minutes, speak to my coaches out of respect, you know, and yeah, I was excited. I called him back. I said, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Those were my exact words. I said, fuck it, let's do it, you know, and yeah, here we are. I'm excited. I might not look at this morning, I'm tired, but I've been training very, very, very hard. But I'm super excited. This is a big opportunity. It's a massive fight card. A lot of people are going to watch. You know, it's make or break in some ways, you know, and I thrive under pressure like that.
Final question here, Michael. Do you see Chael Sonnen as a bigger challenge than all the other opponents you faced in your UFC career?
Who knows? I mean, I was going to face Demian Maia. Demian Maia threw Chael Sonnen on his head and submitted him in the first round. You know, so you could argue that Demian Maia was a tougher opponent. Listen, here's the facts. Chael Sonnen is not knocking me out. Chael Sonnen is not submitting me. The worst thing that can happen is that he holds me down for a bit and gives me these little pitter-pat punches, you know, and I might have a few scratches and a few bruises. You know, that's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario is I go out there, I beat this guy, and I fight for a world title in Brazil, you know. So, you know, is he the toughest opponent I've faced? I don't know. I mean, I fought Dan Henderson, I fought Rashad Evans, I fought Dennis Khan, Chris Lieben, Matt Hamill, you know, Vanderlei Silva, the list goes on and on. I've fought a who's who of MMA, and Chael Sonnen is just another name on the list and another guy that needs to be beaten. I've done everything I can. I'm in great shape. I've got to thank my coaches, my sponsors, and, you know, what will be, will be. I'm ready. I'm sure he's ready. It's going to be a hell of a goddamn fight. Tune in, Fox TV, January 28th.
You heard it from right here, Michael Bisping, UFC on Fox. He goes up against Chael Sonnen for the right to face Anderson Silva for the UFC middleweight title. Here in Huntington Beach, California, with Michael Bisping, I'm Marcos Villegas, thanking you for watching.
Enter code HUB749 for a domain name discount and enter the codes below for other great discounts from GoDaddy.com.